Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Coco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. So, boom, boom, here's checking our own live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Of course, join me there way across the pond, the man who gets things done on the job, your go-to guy, talking about LK. What's up, buddy?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Hey, ain't going to complain. It's Thanksgiving Eve here in the U.S., so a lot of people are going to have tomorrow off. They're going to have turkey, dressing. They're going to have sweet potato pie, green bean casserole, all kinds of, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, sweet potato pie, all that stuff ready to go. I know I've got my turkey brining right now in the refrigerator, so going to be a very festive day. Unfortunately, I have to work, but going to be a good time either way.
We don't have any of that shenanigans of Thanksgiving. We don't have that over in England.
You don't have anything to be thankful for.
No, we have everything to be thankful for. We're just supposed to be thankful every day of our lives, not just one. Americans have an excuse for a holiday every fucking 2 weeks. Now I do loads of shows with American people. It's now coincidental to me. Every time I go on this show, it's like, oh, next week there's a public holiday. And the week after that, there'll be a public holiday. And the week after that, there'll be a public holiday. Bunch of lazy...
Come on. I think you would love this one, okay? I mean, you get to sit down, have like a big meal, and watch football.
No, that does sound good. It's like, for instance, when we had our Memorial Day. People still went to work. That wasn't a public holiday. It was just Memorial Day. But, it's a different story. But this is Lucha Underground for you, baby. And we haven't talked one word about Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Speaking of things to be thankful for, I'm thankful Lucha Underground is back. So we had Season 3, Episode 12 of Lucha Underground. Of course, the first question I'm going to ask, and it's the first question I ask for every show that we do. What do you give tonight's show? Do you give it a win, a loss, or a tie? So start with you, okay? Win, loss, or tie?
For the first time in what feels like an eternity, I'm going to give the show a win. So for Survivor Series, I gave a loss. Raw, I gave a tie. SmackDown, a weak tie. I'm giving Lucha Underground the win because it was brilliant. I enjoyed 2 of the 3 matches. One in particular, which was brilliant, which I recommend everyone to go watch. And I'm happy I watch Lucha Underground live now. I will not tell anyone how I do, as I'm English, because I don't want everyone to do. I want the Americans to get the LRA network and support the company. But it was really good watching live, and it was interacting with people on social. It was just so much better watching Lucha Underground live. And we will be doing an NXT. I don't know if Booms can join me there, but I'll be doing an NXT review after this. And this will be the new format, because what I'm going to try and do is bring every show live after it airs. Like tomorrow, I'm going to do a TNA review live after it airs. I just think it'll help with viewerships, etc. But I give the show a win. I'm interested to see what other people of the show think. So what do you think of the show?
I gave it a win. Overall, I gave it a win. I was entertained by it. I was actually joined by my daughter sat down and watched it with me tonight. We had a good time. She enjoyed. Hey, Jess, did you enjoy the show? And she just ignored me. That happens a lot. But, no, overall, she sat and watched the whole – she was like, I don't know. I'm not – it's like, you want me to watch wrestling with you? It's like, I don't – no. And then she sat down and watched the whole hour with me. She was asking questions. She was engaged, so she didn't complain. So either she was being extremely polite or she enjoyed it, either one. But, no, I thought it was a very entertaining show.
Me too. My girlfriend didn't watch, which means I'm going to get in trouble for tomorrow. I have to watch it again, I expect.
Or just make her watch it.
No. I couldn't wake her up at 1 a.m. in the freaking morning.
Sure you can.
It's a bit of a douchey thing to do.
You can do it.
No. I can't do that. I'm not. I may come across as a mean English twat, but I'm not mean. No, I'm not. I'm mean to you if you're at work. If I work with you and you suck, I'm gonna be the meanest piece of shit to you, and I'm even meaner to ass lickers. Like, I watch too much Vince McMahon WWE to know what an ass kisser is. And believe me, I work with about 15 million of them, and it drives me absolutely up the wall. This is Lucha Underground. Gee, to break down the show, right. Let's get going.
All right, let's break it down here. Of course, we start with a recap of last week, Aztec Warfare 3. You see 60 Star taking home the championship. You see a recap of the feud between Dante Fox and Killshot. Then you see the White Rabbit tribe dancing around in the ring, and no, I'm not making that up. And Paul London treating a carrot like it's a knife. Again, I'm not making that up. They're saying that they're here. Then we go inside the temple with Matt Stryker and Vampiro, and they start out. They kind of lay out what's going to happen. So we're going to start out with a a match for the Lucha Underground Trios Championship match. First, you have the champions Drago, Phoenix, and Aerostar taking on the Rabbit Tribe that consists of Paul London, Saltador, and Malacerte. I thought it was a pretty good debut for the Rabbit Tribe. I think they played their parts well. The little thing where they kind of do like a little circle around everyone, doing Ring Around the Rosies and flailing their arms. I was like, okay, that's kind of it's different. I mean, it was made for my daughter was like, hey, okay, I have no idea what to make of this, but I enjoyed it. Paul London looked incredibly looks like Liberace and Elvis had a baby. These guys were flying all over the ring, going to the outside. Ultimately, let's see. Oh, also in the middle of the match, Cobra Moon comes out taunting Drago, but eventually the Super Friends, as they should be called, gets the win. Phoenix, he outmaneuvered Saltador during a kick out of 10. He did a crossover on that bridge on that roll up and got the 1, 2, 3. And there you go. The Super Friends get the win. Then Cobra Moon standing on top of Dario's office, tells Drago that sooner or later he will bow to him as his queen. And so there you go. I think it was a good way to start off. I enjoyed the debut. What did you think about the debut?
I liked them. I love the fact they were pretending to be high. Like that made me chuckle.
It's Paul London. I doubt there was much pretending involved.
What was even better was like the commentators every now and then would say like, scoring high, or that was dope, and little things like that just made me absolutely. And you know what? Looking at them, and here's a really funny story. So Saturday, I didn't do the NXT Takeover review because I went out. Now I don't go out with friends partying or anything. I'm not a party. I'm more of a guy who'd like to socialize in a pub. I'm a pub guy. It was my friend's 20th birthday, so we went sitting around here. There's about 8 to 10 of us around his house. They were all dropping like flies, and then it was around about 1 a.m. and it was pissing down with rain in the south of England, like hammering it down. Excuse me, breakdown, hammering it down. So we're pretty much half cut at this point. So we go under this slide, like it's a big, long motherfucking slide in this park, and we go underneath it. So we're protected. We're all protected. We're all there. We're having a good time. And then this guy whacks out a Paul London special, if you know what I'm saying. And I've never done it before in my whole entire life. I've never done that. I don't smoke. I have cigars every now and then if I'm getting a bit too angry, usually at work. And I tried it. And ladies and gentlemen, I do not recommend you to do it all the time. But I was relaxed. I was chilled. And for my first experience doing it at 19 years old, I wish I did it sooner. But I will not be doing it every day. I will not become a junkie. But it was good. There's a little story about my time on Saturday. Paul London and high came up, so it just popped in my head. I was not high because I already drunk before, so I didn't want to get aggressive because I know alcohol and that drug mix will not work. Mm-hmm. So I had a few puffs, and it just chills you out. And I understand now why the Americans want that type of drug to be prescribed, because it generally chilled me out. All your anger, all your stresses, they go away. And I understand why people do that drug a lot.
Yeah, that was actually a big referendum on that this past election cycle. I think it was on the ballot in, I believe, 5 states. I think it passed in 4, but it varies per state because some want it legalized for recreational use, others want it legalized for medicinal purposes only. So it just kind of varies. Right now, until the new year when the new laws take effect, right now you can only get it legally in Colorado and Washington, but that's going to expand before too long.
Yeah, I do think it can. We'll move on from this topic before I get myself into trouble.
I thought it was a good debut. By the way, I decided to look up their names. Saltador or Malacerte. Went through Google Translate. Now Malacerte roughly translates to bad luck, whereas Saltador translates to again, these are rough translations. This is through Google Translate, so take it for what it's worth. Saltador translates to jumper. in Spanish, all that in Spanish. So Paul London with jumper and bad luck, which is kind of ironic because, well, bad luck, it's a rabbit. Rabbit's feet are good luck. So, I don't know, just the more you know.
It was a good match, though. I didn't touch on the match. I love the spot where London went to flip, and Phoenix just super kicked him in midair. That was really nice. And Phoenix is my favorite luchador in Lucha Underground. I'm not. It takes me a long time to figure out favorites in like Raw or SmackDown. It takes me a while. I finally come to the conclusion. Phoenix is my favorite Lucha Libre wrestler in Lucha Underground.
You know, and then that's another funny thing. It's like, I know that every promotion's got this. You know, I don't care how much you love a promotion, but whether it be WWE, whether it be TNA, whether it be Ring of Honor, whether it be New Japan, whether it be AAA, CMLL, you know, NXT, you know, whatever promotion, hell, your local promotion, you always have like this. You'll always have it every now and then with like some musical hit. You know it's a match, and you're like, oh shit, this guy, fuck. I don't ever have that with Lucha Underground. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm very optimistic, and that's what I love about Lucha Underground is I actually care about everybody who comes through that curtain one way or another. Either I think they're the scum of the earth and I want them to die, or I think they're a great wrestler and I'd like to see them get a championship push. I care about everybody who comes through that curtain. That's what I love. And
that's a great show.
And speaking about caring here, I was also cared about this next match here. Killshot versus Dante Fox. This was a grudge match. These two pretty evenly matched, as it should have been, because per storyline, these two know each other very well. So these guys were reversing each other's moves. I think Killshot had a great. Okay, here's the thing: when Killshot hit that what was it? Before the double stomp, he hit that fireman's carry from the top rope on the apron, which made me go, fuck, that had to hurt. Rolls him back in the ring, does a double stomp, and when he couldn't get the pin there, I was like, shit, there's no way Killshot's winning this. But Dante Fox, to his credit, came back. He picked up the pace. He set Killshot on the top rope, hit a seated Spanish fly, then a vertical spine buster, what he calls the fox catcher, and gets the win. I thought it was a phenomenal match. The crowd was clapping. They were really enjoying it. I think a good win for Dante Fox. By the way, portrayed by independent wrestler A.R. Fox. I don't know if that's important or not. I enjoyed it. You got to think, man, this feud is nowhere near over. So where do they go from here?
The question is, are you sad that it's going to... That was fucking brilliant match of the night. Like, really great stuff.
That was really good. I enjoyed it.
There was that neck breaker on the floor from the apron. That was brilliant. The springboard cutter from Fox, and then Killshot hit a spiked cutter. And I love the commentary. Like, as the crowd get louder, I feel that the commentators get louder too, and then they start shouting and screaming, and it's absolutely brilliant. And then Fox hitting that springboard Spanish fly, just absolutely brilliant. Lucha Libre wrestling done properly, and that felt like a real American-style Lucha Libre match. It did not feel like a Mexican-style Lucha. It felt like a proper American Lucha Libre-style wrestling match, and it was fucking brilliant. And if you go through the star system, I would give that 4 stars. And there was a "that was awesome" chant, damn fucking right. I don't like "this is awesome." It's awesome. I do not like that chant. I hate that. I despise it. But they chanted "that was awesome" because it fucking was, and it was well deserved. It's a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes from here. Which is like with WWE, when we go, we're like, oh, where will it go from here? Like on Sunday, you went like, oh my god, Goldberg beat Brock. Where does it go from here? I was like, Goldberg beat Brock. I didn't even give a fuck where it goes from here. That didn't make sense. Like, that was brilliant. That was really brilliant, and I'm looking forward to Fox more, looking forward to Killshot more, and I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant.
Well said. Then we get to the main event of the evening. We have Sexy Star defending her newly won Lucha Underground Championship against Johnny Mundo, who, of course, got this match by cashing in his Gift of the Gods Championship. It started out with Johnny Mundo completely just smothering Sexy Star all over her. Phrasing's everything. He goes for costed pinfalls. Sexy Star manages to stay into it. She hit a lung blower in there. There was kicks to the leg. Johnny yanked her down for the top rope, missed a double stomp. He spits on her. He misses the baseball slide, goes to the outside. But it goes a little crazy here when on the outside he reaches and grabs steals away a crutch from a fan to use as a weapon. Sexy, he misses the shot with the crutch. Sexy Star gets a hold of it, and she goes after Johnny Mundo into the ring. The referee takes away the crutch. She goes on back to the outside to check on the person who Johnny stole the crutch from. That person was a plant. Pulled out a set of brass knuckles, popped her right in the face, knocked her out cold. Johnny Mundo dragged her back in the ring, laid her out and set her up for End of the World. 1, 2, 3, your winner and new Lucha Underground champion, Johnny Mundo. It was revealed that the fan who had the crutch turned out to be Taya in disguise. Then PJ Black and Jack Evans came out there to celebrate with Johnny Mundo, and that's how we go off the air. Despite how everything ended, I still enjoyed the match. It made sense. And, okay, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and say what you're going to say about this match, and I'm going to add something to it at the end. But what were your thoughts? I know you were not a big fan of the Sexy Star becoming the champion, but how did you feel about the match itself and the way they just kind of told the story?
Well, I was happy Mundo won. I had a few fist pump moments. Happy Mundo won. The match was okay. It was a Sexy Star match. It's not going to be like the two matches we saw before. It was okay. It was a Sexy Star match. It wasn't bad. She's not a bad wrestler. I just don't see her that higher up in the card and think she's severely overrated. But it sets up Taya versus Star, which is a program which now can be, you want Sexy Star to kill Taya. Gets heat on her. Happy Mundo's the new champion. He's been there since episode 1, so maybe do Puma versus Mundo, or go back and do Phoenix versus Mundo. I don't know what they're going to do. Pentagon versus Mundo. Who fucking knows? But if this was WWE program, we're like, now we got to sit through a Sexy Star versus Johnny Mundo rematch. Because, that's what WWE does. It's rematch. With Lucha Underground, it's like, worry about that. We worry about Taya versus Star. We'd have to fucking worry about these stupid rematches. Mundo can go off, do his own thing, but the question is, who will be the next challenger? I mean, Matanza is still in the mix. Mil Muertes got quite far, but Mundo's the heel, so what babyface is maybe Prince Puma, and you do a rematch of Prince Puma versus Mundo? What would you do? What would you do?
Well, you got to think that if they're not going to do a rematch, that Taya's going to have a receipt coming that she needs to be a thorn in the side of Johnny Mundo as a form of payback. You got to think she can at least join forces with the Mac and anybody else who may have a grudge with the Worldwide Underground, which I begin to think by the end of this season could be half the locker room. So I think that's where they go from there. And plus, Johnny Mundo, I think he's going to play, because right now there's only like two really main types of heels that you have. You have to have the monster heel who destroys everyone in his path. It's like, okay, who can beat this guy? Who can beat this guy? This guy seems unstoppable. When you keep throwing good guy, till eventually somebody rises from the ranks and just beats him. Or you're going to have what I think Johnny Mundo is going to be. You have the chicken shit heel. And that's the guy, he's a weasel. He takes every shortcut. He can't wrestle a clean match to save his life. And it's just like, God, what does it take to beat this guy? The guy we put up in front of him came this close to winning. And then the other guy came this close to winning. It's like, what is it going to take to finally have this guy get his comeuppance? I think that's what they're going to go with Johnny Mundo. But, no, I do like your idea. Sexy Star immediately goes after Taya, because right now Ivelisse is on the shelf storyline, because I think she did legitimately break her ankle again when they did that 5-on-5 match. I think she legitimately broke her ankle, and we know that she's not going to be back till at least Ultima Lucha 3. So she's going to be in the shelf. So you have no other major women's feud right now. So I think Sexy Star versus Taya would be a good change of pace. And then I can see PJ Black and Jack Evans, they're working their asses off to run interference to make sure Johnny Mundo stays the champion. And it's just going to be, and I think they're going to set it up to, I still think maybe Pentagon Dark. That could be the match at Ultima Lucha 3.
What about Angelico? Because he's bigger over.
Yeah, I understand. Oh, I know that. They've made mention that Angelico is going to, he got banned from the arena tonight, but he'll be back. But he will be back, next week. and he'll be back in an active competition. I think he'll be one of the guys that gets thrown at Johnny Mundo, and ultimately he'll come up short because of interference from the Worldwide Underground. But I don't think he'll be the guy who beats him and takes the championship.
Right there.
All right, and one thing I was going to add here, and this is something where I was a bad host last week. I was a very bad host because I was all pumped up about Sexy Star winning. You do, and I think everybody realizes if you're a fan of Lucha Underground that all this stuff is filmed ahead of time. This was all filmed, I think, back, February, March, April? It was right around the springtime when all this was filmed. And this is not a spoiler. You can actually look this up anywhere. It was published on wrestling news sites this summer. But Sexy Star is retired,
which is why I chilled the fuck out on the insults about Sexy Star.
Yeah, I sent you and I sent Sammy a link to that story. This happened back in July, so I mean it's not like honestly I don't know because what I do is when it comes to Lucha Underground is I actively involve. It's like. Anytime there's anything I feel like it's spoiler territory, I don't click on it, I don't look at it, I don't watch it. And it's like, hey, do you want to know what happens in Lucha Underground 2 months from now? And I'm like, oh, Oklahoma, where that way go, sweet man, down the play. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to. So I intentionally skipped this. But Sexy Star had retired in July. It was revealed that at a boxing event in Mexico, she appeared, with some people, but in ring in the mask, and she unmasked. Voluntarily, which in Lucha Libre culture and by those standards, it means you're done. It means you're done. Sexy Star had been complaining. Now, whether or not you think this is legit or not, I mean, that's up for debate, and that's up to you to either believe it at face value or not. Had been complaining about some neck issues and wanted to hang it up and believe it or not, of all things, wanted to take up boxing. Because her husband is a boxer. And you got to think, if you're a boxer, I mean, what are you fighting? Like 2, maybe 3 matches per year?
Yeah, not healthy on the body, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you get the shit beat out of you, blunt force trauma to the fucking head, which if you're complaining of neck injuries, but that, again, take it for what it's worth. And so that's why I think, I'm not going to say it was a charity case, but I think what happened was Sexy was saying, look, I'm going to retire, and Lucha Underground's like, you know what, you've been with us since day one, you're a fan favorite. This was just kind of like a thank you because she became a crossover star. I mean, she's big. She was popular in Mexico, but she also gained a following here in the United States because of Lucha Underground. And I really felt like this was a thank you for believing on this. Thank you for being a crossover star, and thank you, for your time here. So this was just a 1 week. You'll go down in the record books as a Lucha Underground champion. As a gift to the gods champion, it gave her a chance to tip her cap. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook or not, but I subscribe. I like Facebook, Lucha Underground's Facebook page. And she had this moment where she was allowed to speak, and she did it bilingual. I was really impressed by that. She it was like a 2.5 minute video where she just told everybody thank you, and then she just ended with saying every woman is sexy, every woman is a star, and thank you very much. At least that's what she said in English, and everybody was just on their feet clapping. And so she got that moment, and I was like, when I heard that she was retiring, I was like, there's no way she's going to hold this championship for long. And sure enough, she lost it, the very next week, But under the circumstances, do you think that's appropriate? Okay, just to kind of give her that thank you.
I think it was going to happen anyway. Maybe it was going to happen anyway.
It accomplishes 2 things. I mean, one, you give that feel good story because beauty beats the beast. She, everybody thought Montanza was unstoppable. Well, he loses, and then she's up against another big guy, Min Mortez, and it's 1-on-1. It's like, oh, she doesn't have a chance. Well, she pulls off the upset. She gets the thank you. Plus, now she goes out and defends it the next week, loses it, under some shady circumstances. She got the thank you, but she also got Mundo over as an even bigger fucking dick because he had to cheat, to beat this woman. And now he's going to look like an even bigger ass. So I think and plus she was like, I hate to say it, but she was a transitional champion. You got to go. You just couldn't go from heel to heel, you kind of give the fans a little bit of hope. You throw them a bone, so you put heel face back to a heel quickly. So I think it was smart booking.
Yeah, I mean, it's usually is smart booking, isn't it, with this company?
I mean, it happened with Phoenix. I mean, remember that? I mean, this is when nobody thought but anybody could beat Mil Muertes, and he ended up He loses it at Aztec Warfare 2. Phoenix gets the championship. He goes, no, he lost it before. No, he lost it before Aztec Warfare 2. So I knew somebody's about to get on their goddamn keyboard like, motherfucker, you got this shit wrong. No, he lost it before. He lost it before Aztec Warfare 2, and then so Phoenix is forced to defend it in Aztec Warfare 2. It looks like he's about to, defend it, pull it off, and that's when they debuted Montanza, and so he only had a 1 week reign as champion. And then
that's true.
So this is not like this is unprecedented. So I think it's kind of smart. It, kind of gives the fans a thank you, but it also makes the bad guy look like an even bigger dick.
I agree. We'll get some live comments before we wrap this up. So you have Andy Paps. He's here. He says the Lucha Underground was amazing. He wishes everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Rinny Som says the Stardom wrestlers who are part of the Black Lotus triad are, here we go, let's get this slaughtered. Kairi Hojo, Lo Shrey, Mayu Iwatani. Apparently they're super talented. Well, they are, because we saw it the other day. Super talented, they have big international fan base, and apparently WWE currently wants them. Andy perhaps can't wait for next week. Rinny Soms also puts, LK, you wanted the Sexy Star to lose the belt, and she did. Phoenix title reign lasted a week or so. So yeah, you're right, it did last a week. I mean, I don't want to be too much of a douche about Sexy Star, because obviously she retired, so I don't want to be too much of a douche, but I just, I'm not going to be one of these guys like, no, I respect Sexy Star, like, she was amazing, like, change just to be politically correct. I'm honest, brutally honest sometimes. I still don't give a shit. I think she's overrated.
I guess what I liked about this was the fact that, yeah, you could say it's feminist propaganda, but at least they didn't present it like WWE does as feminist propaganda. WWE, got up on their soapbox and was like, look at this, we have a women's revolution. Look at this, we have women main eventing. Look at this, we have women breaking. Whereas Lucha Underground just went in there and just fucking did it.
That's true. That's very true. And the last one is Rennie Som says, Paul London's Rabbit Tribe members are Mr. Cisco and Mara Fichi Loco. Which is again Sinestro Della Morte.
He's talking about El Mariachi Loco. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that totally okay. I guarantee you, Malacerte, that's Mr. Cisco, and then Saltador, that's El Mariachi Loco. Yeah, he was one of the disciples of death. So thank you, Rennie. Thank you. I was wondering who that was because I swear to you, Malacerte looked very familiar. Oh, and then you missed one comment by Rennie Psalms. I'll read it real quick. He says, trust you guys, the Stardom Joshi wrestlers are going to put on an amazing Gauntless match versus Pentagon Dark, which is coming up, I think, next week. Krista Joseph is already hyping it up on Twitter for next week, and I know WWE will watch too. Oh, and then Daniel Price just put in a comment. He says, so they're actually doing Sexy Star versus Morrison, huh? Last time I saw Sexy Star was when I used to watch AAA, and she feuded with Apache. I think you mean Fabi Apache or Lady Apache? Or wait a minute, there's 3 Apaches. Never mind. Let's see. What in the fuck? My cat is apparently just smoked a whole bunch of crack because he is just running around the damn house. It's like he's almost literally bouncing off the walls.
Please join Paul London's tribe.
Yeah, and it was Fabi Apache. And let's see, Trust. I know, guys. I've been having doubts about Sexy Star, Cobra Moon, and Mariposa. I can tell you that these women will surprise later on in the season. Just you wait. Rennie, were you there? I'm just curious. Or were you there? I'm asking, legitly, not being a sarcastic asshole. Rennie, were you there in the temple? I'm just wanting to know.
And if they do impress, I will say they impressed, and I will say that I was wrong. I will say they're wrong, but as of right now, I don't give a fuck if she's retired. I don't give a fuck if anything. If she's crippled or anything. I don't care. I think she's overrated. But with that being said, I'm still open-minded. If she has time, in the season to impress me, so I'll give her time. Was he there at the temple? Did he reply?
Well, it takes a while for this to get out to him, and then for him to reply. But Daniel Price says AAA was good shit when they had La Secta versus Los Hill Brothers.
Dude, AAA still good now. I remember I watched a show where, they're in Kurokan Hall in Japan, and really good stuff.
Now, you and Sammy have been reviewing a lot of Lucha Libre as of late, right?
Yeah, we're checking into AAA, checking into CMLL, checking into Lucha Elite, checking into anything.
Is what you're watching, is that completely in Spanish, or do they have English subtitles?
Oh, it's completely in Spanish, but normally there's no promos. Like, it's just match, and then because we're using Cage Match, it tells you if it's a title match or not.
Oh, okay. I was just curious, because I would be more likely to, and I tell New Japan this all the time when I tweet to them, like, hey, if you guys would have full-time English commentary or put in English subtitles, I would watch a lot more, I promise.
I mean, I like watching it with the foreign language, because I think their excitement levels are like times 50, so it kind of bumps my excitement levels up, especially with Japanese. Like, their commentators are amazing. It's like Nakamura. You can't understand a word the fuck is saying, but it's like the way they say it. It's just I just love Japanese and Mexican commentary.
Oh, but yeah, that's why I say you subtitle it. That way you kind of get the feel of it, but you know what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, but you learn with like uno, dos, tres, like that's the 1, 2, 3, so you can get into it when he's there. 1, 2, I don't know. I don't mind. It is difficult for lots of people. I know for me anyway, until I was about 18, it was very difficult to mature enough to the point where I would sit down and watch, a Japanese wrestling show and you understand none of the words they're saying.
Yeah, no, it makes me wish I'd learned a little bit more Spanish back in the day, but good God, that was, everybody's like, oh yeah, Spanish is easy. If you're going to learn a foreign language, yeah, Spanish is the easiest. Bullshit. Good God, that was hard.
I'm awful at that. I butcher my own. Like, when I try to talk, like when I read fucking commenters' names and I can barely say them, there's no way I could learn a different language.
Yeah. Rennie Som says, Sexy Star is unmasked now and goes by the name Dulce Garcia. She has a match in Shimmer last week against Lofisto, the no DQ match. Heard the match was good, like her no mas match. And the Daniel Price says that I like the talent exchange policy Mexico and Japan have. Kenzo Suzuki went to WWE, was a joke. Went to AAA and was super over. Yeah, and then Daniel Price makes my point here. Spanish is a lot of verb conjugation, intensive forms. It gets complicated. Yeah, that's what got me, was the verb conjugation. After a while, I was like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. I think we're done here. Mm-hmm. And speaking of done, we do have some breaking news from the world of professional wrestling. This just came out from ProWrestling.net today. Steve Corino is headed to WWE to become a full-time trainer at the Performance Center. He had a trial run as a guest trainer. Apparently WWE liked what they saw, and they've offered him a job, to which I've heard he's accepted. So congratulations to Steve Corino. It's also kind of bad for Ring of Honor, because I really liked him on commentary. I liked him when he did wrestle. It was nice. Like when he made his comeback earlier this year. I liked his time as Mr. Wrestling 3. Brilliant. So it's a huge loss for Ring of Honor, but a big get for the WWE and the Performance Center.
I was first a bit like, shit, but then I remembered they had Nigel McGuinness, and I love Nigel McGuinness, and I love his commentary. So I'm ready. I love a bit of English banter on the commentary, so I was very happy when that happened, because I was like, yes, that means Nigel and Kevin Kelly now will be full-time.
Randy Soms has some good dirt here. Now, this is assuming he's accurate here. I'm not calling him a liar, but he's saying here that Angela Fong, Black Lotus, that she's pregnant, and Lucha Underground has to find a way to put her character in for season 4, because they have big plans for her character next season. So, that's good. That explains why she really hasn't been wrestling all that much.
That makes sense. That's why she's got her tribe round her. That makes sense. That's smart.
Okay, I was kind of curious about that, but it was like, okay, that makes sense. And next thing you know, they're just going to be showing her shots from like here up.
Anyway, wrap this bad boy up. I'll go watch NXT.
Okay, yeah, let's wrap it up here. You're going to watch NXT, crank out a show. I'm going to go to bed because I got to work Thanksgiving. So in the meantime, be sure to check us out at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're cranking out these shows all the time. LK and myself, we reviewed Raw this week. We reviewed SmackDown. We've just done Lucha Underground. LK is going to have an NXT review coming up. He's also going to have a TNA Impact review. And then, of course, we'll start all over again on Monday. I keep saying this, but I got to get back into Ring of Honor because they've got like a final battle coming up.
Yeah,
there's a big match coming up because for one, I heard, and this is not spoilers because Ring of Honor just sent it to me on Facebook, but they had Will Ospreay and Marty Scurll wrestle each other, and now Marty Scurll's the new Ring of Honor television champion. It's like so, and I know it sounds blasphemous. As much as I like Will Ospreay, as much as I like Zack Sabre Jr., Marty Scurll is my favorite British wrestler right now. Don't get me wrong, I like the other two. I like them very much. I'll watch their matches. I'll cheer for them. But I don't know what it is, but I like Marty Scurll the best. I don't know why. I just do. And then plus you got Final Battle coming up. Adam Cole defending against Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly's probably like my second favorite wrestler, active wrestler right now behind Bayley. So I really want to see how this goes, and I need to get back. I kind of threw my hands up with them after Kevin Sullivan came back for no reason to attack Steve Corino, and then there was the fucking bullshit with the 6-man championship, and then like the whole clusterfuck with the booking with New Japan. I was like, dude, I got to take a step back. I've got to, and now it looks like it's really getting good to get towards the year, so I got to get back into that.
Me too. I might do it on Friday about it. Go on.
Okay. Let's wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Stay tuned here. Subscribe to us, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And the boom just went bang, and I am out.